First, it was the announcement of the closure at the end of this school year, and now the confidentiality of the students' test scores has been compromised. And as you can see behind me, there is a makeshift memorial already set up with teddy bears here and candles that are not yet lit, but I guarantee those will be lit later on tonight. Monday's tragedy has opened a lot of eyes around the country. Here at home, Springfield police are working to keep you protected in case a dangerous situation were to take place. And beyond these trees right here is where the Illinois River begins. And if you come this way, you could see where the river has risen and crept up into neighbors' backyards. Caterpillar has been making cuts over the last 7 months. They had temporary shutdowns through the holidays, but this most recent round of layoffs will be permanent. If you take a look behind me, you'll see that people are out still at the bars having a great time. Right now I'm here on Michigan Avenue with the Chicago Teachers Union, where they say they are fed up with Mayor Robbie Manuel. John Hemphill believes he is not a hero. He was able to help save one person from the home, but he wishes that he had saved everyone who was in that fire on Thursday night. From up close, it looks like a normal shoreline, but the Illinois River has taken over the land and may soon rise above this Meridosha levee.
One of the levees break or somehow water was to come into the town at that kind of level, there would be probably water standing where we're at now.
Hands were busy picking up and putting down sandbags in hopes of raising the levee's height. High school students pitched in shoveling sand into the bags hours before prom.
And even though we're preparing for it by putting the sandbags up, it's still expecting this low area to flood.
6-year resident Mackenzie Walker and her family are loading up a trailer with everything inside their home. They live 1 block away from the river on the lowest part of town.
I mean, to think about like just our house being gone is really upsetting. It's just heartbreaking. I mean, to even think about what we would do, where we would go.
The water is already creeping into residents' backyards, feet away from where the Illinois River usually stops.
These people are definitely on the brink of disaster.
Helping to lift spirits, the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Team. That organization made sure volunteers stayed hydrated while placing sandbags along the levees.
Want to feed anyone who is in need, and who is especially the ones that are helping and serving this community.
Village President Kenneth Scott says his town is doing its best to prepare. He's staying calm and not letting the water take him under throughout the whole ordeal. A Springfield mother excited to see her son finish his first Boston Marathon. Deb Rudis and her family made sure to get as close as they could to all of the action.
We got a real good shot of him running to the finish line. We didn't see him actually cross, but we had a pretty good view.
After sitting half a block away from the finish line, Rudis and her daughter celebrated with her son. Running the marathon was a goal Jason Rudis always wanted to accomplish.
We had picked him up and walked him into a cafe because it was extremely cold that day, and got him a cup of coffee, to warm up a bit.
They started heading towards the subway to get back to where they were staying. Before they could make it there, they heard the first explosion.
It sounded just like a cannon. So we were kind of a little worried, but then we were like, no, And then like 10 to 15 seconds later, we heard the second one, and we said, no, that was an explosion.
By the time the family arrived at the subway, police were already shutting it down. While all of this was going on in Boston, Rudis' husband George was watching their grandson in St. Louis. Hoping his family was okay, he watched on TV as people ran in panic for their lives.
You just feel a little bit alone and hoping that everything's okay, but once I got that phone call and knew that everybody was okay, it was, it's what life's all about.
The family is grateful they survived the bombing, but Deb Rudis has a hard time with reliving that moment every day.
With the 9/11, when you had the first crash and then you had that horrible second, the unsettling, gut-wrenching feeling in your stomach after that second bomb, I knew it was an explosion. The one thing that I have drawn from this is that life is so precious, and it can be over in seconds.
Technology continues to evolve, changing how we stay connected. Video chat websites like Skype and Uvu keep loved ones in contact over long distances, but officials at the Sangamon County Jail are looking to use the video technology to change inmate visitations.
What this would do would allow a better security of our facility. People would not have a chance to bring contraband in.
Inmates in the Sangamon County Jail are used to picking up this phone and talking to someone on the other side of this glass. But now the chats may become digital and be able to be done over the web.
We would have a monitor set up in the lobby so the people that don't have access to a computer at their house, they could come down to the lobby and still be able to go by a video visitation.
I really think that would be really nice.
Joan Jones says she thinks there should be a monitoring system for the video chats, but doesn't mind making it easier for inmates to hear from loved ones.
I have a brother myself who is an inmate, and I'm sure he would appreciate that, so he could see and talk to his mother.
Under Sheriff Campbell says the video chatting software would not eliminate officer positions. Instead, he says it would help cut back on overtime many workers face on visitation days.
If it helps the sheriff's office, if it helps the taxpayers of this county by alleviating some of those costs and some of those security issues, I think we're all better served to allow something like this.
I strive to make every concert an event, make every concert unique.
Alistair Willis became the Illinois Symphony Orchestra's music director on Labor Day. This weekend, he debuts his talent in Springfield.
You know, it doesn't get more exciting than this. My first ever job as a music director. This is my opening weekend of the subscription concerts.
The orchestra is celebrating 20 years of traveling through Illinois and the world. The group struggled when the economy fell, but it was far from falling flat.
Making decisions of having to reduce concerts a slight bit, making it that our orchestra is able to survive and thrive in our community.
And so the concerts began, adding many additions with many backgrounds. Alistair Willis grew up in Russia. He and his sister got the music bug while taking lessons from a piano teacher as a kid.
We would destroy that piano teacher. My goodness, if we didn't practice, then she would be so tough.
Her strict rules got Willis on the musical path he continues today. Stops along the way include Cincinnati and Seattle, along with traveling around the world. He's a man that loves what he does, especially live.
Sometimes you have an amazing performance on CD, and I have many of them, and I love them, but that's like a snapshot, a souvenir, a postcard, if you will. That's great, but music needs to be alive.